In the heart of Mbale village, where the rooster's crow was the morning alarm and the scent of wet earth filled the air after every rain, lived a man named Oak. For as long as anyone could remember, Oak was known for his strength, his calloused hands, and his endless patience. His farm, though small and stubborn against drought, fed his family and sometimes the neighbors too. He had one treasure more precious than gold, his only daughter, Adiku. With her mother's early death, Adiku had become both daughter and companion, the light in Oak's often hard and lonely life. But good fortune had always seemed to dance just out of Oak's reach. Every season, he watched other men, those who abandoned farming for city jobs or joined politics, build new houses with shiny zinc roofs, send their children to bigger schools, and drive past the muddy village roads in roaring machines. Meanwhile, he remained stuck in endless cycles of planting and hoping. One night, as the harmattan winds howled like spirits outside, a stranger arrived at Oak's doorstep. He wore a long black coat, unusual for the humid season, and his eyes gleamed with a sharpness that made Oak's stomach churn. The man introduced himself as Mr. Jailer, a businessman, he said, with opportunities for men willing to work beyond the ordinary. "I've heard of your strength," Mr. Jailer began, his voice smooth like oiled leather. "And I know you dream bigger than these fields." Oak listened, suspicion and yearning battling inside him. "There is work," Jailer continued, leaning closer, "work that demands sacrifice, but brings wealth faster than you can imagine. One favor, one task, and your worries will be buried." Oak hesitated. He thought of Adiku, her laughter, her dreams of becoming a teacher someday. He thought of the leaking roof, the cracked walls, the debt silently piling up. "What kind of task?" he asked, voice barely above a whisper. Jailer smiled, showing too many teeth. "You will know when the time comes. All you must do now is say yes." Against the rattling winds and the heavy thudding of his own heartbeat, Oak nodded. Just a small favor for a better life, he reasoned. He told himself it was for Adiku. For her future. For the chance to give her everything she deserved. That night, Oak dreamt of fields heavy with yams so large he couldn't carry them, of houses rising like mountains, of Adiku laughing in a flowing dress. But beneath those dreams lurked a shadow, a heavy, breathing thing he could not see, only feel, waiting. 3 nights later, a sack of money arrived at his doorstep, wrapped in goatskin and still dripping wet as though pulled from the depths of a river. Along with it came a single instruction, scribbled on a piece of cloth. Asterisk, when the red moon rises, you must offer what you love most. Asterisk. Oak laughed at first. Some kind of riddle, he thought. Some village joke. But deep inside, something old and primal stirred, a warning he desperately tried to ignore. He folded the cloth, tucked it under his bed, and told himself again, asterisk, it's only a game. A simple favor. Nothing to fear. The village of Mbale was not unfamiliar with strange happenings, but that night, as the red moon bled across the sky, even the crickets fell silent. A heavy, unnatural fog slithered across the fields, curling like pale fingers around every hut, every tree, every breath. Oak stood outside his home, his heart pounding against his ribs. He clutched his hoe, his only weapon against the unease rising within him. Inside, Adiku slept uneasily, tossing and turning, mumbling words he couldn't understand. The cloth with the warning lay heavy under his bed, almost vibrating with a life of its own. The village elders had always said that when a red moon rose, the spirits crossed into the world of the living, seeking debts unpaid, deals unfulfilled. Oak had laughed at such stories once, as a young boy. Now, he dared not even blink too long. A knock echoed on the wooden door, soft at first, then louder, insistent. Oak froze. Who would come at this cursed hour? He opened the door cautiously. Mr. Jailer stood there, but something about him had changed. His eyes no longer gleamed with mischief, they burned, deep and hollow like an ancient fire. Behind him, shapes shifted in the mist, dark, hunched figures that never quite stepped into the light. "It is time," Mr. Jailer whispered. Oak's tongue felt thick and useless. "Time for what?" he asked, though the answer already clawed at his mind. "You made a promise," Jailer said, his voice now a rasp. "You must offer what you love most." Oak staggered back, shaking his head violently. "No. You said work, you said favor. You never said. You accepted the money," Jailer hissed. "The spirits have been fed. Now they must feast." Adiku stirred from inside, calling, "Papa." Her voice was soft, confused. Innocent. Oak's mind raced. Maybe there was another way. Maybe he could offer a goat, a chicken, something else, anything else. But deep down, he knew, it was her. It had always been her. Tears blurred his vision as he turned back inside. His feet felt like stone as he moved toward his daughter, who sat on the mat, rubbing her sleepy eyes. "Papa, what's happening?" she asked. For a moment, Oak hesitated. He could fight, he could die protecting her. But then the image of the money flashed in his mind, of the house he could build, the life he could finally give her, even if she wasn't there to see it. With a strangled cry, Oak lifted his hoe high above his head. The spirits outside chanted in a language older than the village itself. Adiku's eyes widened in confusion, then terror. "I'm sorry," Oak wept. "Forgive me, my child." The hoe fell. The mist rushed into the room like a living thing. And in that one horrifying moment, the line between man and monster blurred forever. As the first cry of the night pierced the silence, the red moon overhead pulsed brighter, greedier, hungrier. And somewhere in the darkness, Mr. Jailer smiled. The sun never fully rose over Mbale the next morning. Instead, a sickly grey light filtered through the fog, casting long, twisted shadows over the village. Oak sat outside his hut, blood still crusted on his trembling hands. His hoe, now broken, lay discarded beside him. The sack of money, once a symbol of hope, seemed to mock him from the doorway. No one came to his home. No one dared. The villagers, sensing something terrible, kept their distance. Even the birds refused to sing. In the days that followed, Oak built the house he had always dreamed of. Brick by brick, window by window, he labored in silence. The villagers watched from afar, whispering of dark things. Children were warned to stay away. Crops near Oak's land withered and died. Animals bolted at the sight of him. He had money now, more than enough. He bought a new farm, new cattle, new clothes. But what use was wealth when each night the wind carried Adiku's voice to him? Her soft crying. Her whispers of betrayal. "Papa, why?" The haunting grew worse. His once strong frame shriveled. His eyes, once clear and full of laughter, grew hollow, sunken like two dark caves. No matter how much he tried to forget, her face, that moment of confusion and terror, stayed burned into his every waking thought. One evening, Mr. Jailer returned, appearing at the doorstep like a lingering shadow. "You have all you wanted," Jailer said, smiling thinly. "Why do you look so broken?" Oak stared at him, hatred and despair swirling in his heart. "I have nothing," he rasped. "I traded everything for dust." Mr. Jailer chuckled, a sound that was neither human nor beast. "You made your choice," he said. "The spirits do not take kindly to broken bargains. You gave them your most beloved, but you also gave them yourself." As Jailer melted into the shadows once more, Oak realized the truth. The curse wasn't just the loss of Adiku, it was the hollowing out of his very soul. The money, the land, the house, all of it was a cage, a reminder of the price he could never repay. At night, the villagers claimed, you could still hear him screaming. Not words, just raw, empty anguish. His farm, once proud, became a patch of death. His house, grand but lifeless, crumbled faster than it was built, as though the earth itself rejected it. And Oak himself. They said he wandered the fields barefoot, whispering Adiku's name to the wind, trying to find the daughter he had destroyed for a future he never truly wanted. In the end, the villagers learned a lesson they would pass on to every generation. Not every opportunity is a blessing. Not every fortune is worth its price. And when you seek wealth the wrong way, you risk losing the only things that truly matter: your soul, your family, your peace. The red moon still rises over Mbale some nights, bleeding into the fields. And when it does, mothers clutch their children close and whisper in trembling voices, "Beware of the easy road to riches. It is paved with bones and watered with tears."